Hello, this is Trevor with SmallTown Overland, and today we're going to do a rig walk around of my 2003 Toyota 4Runner, and let's get started. The armor on my truck, let's start with the bumper. I have a Shocksworth front end. It does great for me. I love how, mainly how thick this bar is. I know if I hit anything, I'm not going to have any problems. And if I also want to mount anything to it, it's not going to sag or bend. I do not have to worry about that. It's all steel. I'd like to utilize that fact and someday slap on a few magnets. It's really handy for mounting GoPros on, or I'd like to mount my license plate around here somewhere with some earth magnets. That'd be nice. And these shackles, you'd think I would hear them rattle going down the road, but I don't hear them rattle, and so far nobody's stolen any, so that's a good thing. Let's see, my lights, I have rigid fog lights. They are very bright. They're very deceiving. Fogged them out a little bit. They've been in there for a while, but I haven't had any problems with them. They're great lights. And then I have my aux beam light bar. This thing lights up pretty much anything I need. I haven't decided to put one on the roof yet, just because the black hood is going to create all sorts of glare, and I don't need it. I haven't run into any situation where I need a light bar on the roof rack yet. I would like to put a couple lights mounted to near the windshield on the hood. Haven't gotten to that yet though. And then the headlights, they're stock. I have not been able to put a winch in yet. I want a winch, but I keep deciding to buy other things. That's going to come down the road. I haven't gotten stuck yet. The truck's all-wheel drive. It has a center locking diff. It doesn't give me any problems, so I haven't had to use a winch yet. And if worse comes to worse, I'm usually with somebody if I'm doing something that stupid where I need a winch. So let's move down to my armor, my skid plates. I only have a front mounted skid plate to cover the radiator and the engine bay. We got RCI. It's done great. I have definitely grinded it on some stuff. If we get an angle later, there's dents and bumps and scratches under there, but it's been worth it. I would definitely buy one if you're deciding to go off-road. You have to have that protection. It's so important. Puncturing your oil pan is a no-go on the trail. Let's go to the sliders. The Shocksworth sliders. They've been spray painted a couple times over. Use them so much that the paint on the stock paint doesn't really stay on there. You can see how much I get in and out of the truck. It just wears over time. I've used these quite a bit, bumping off stuff, depending on them to get through a tight obstacle. Knowing that I have the sliders and that I can bump off of them is really handy. And then let's see, since we're over by the tires, we can check out what kind of tires I have. I am running BFG all-terrain, let's see what size they are, 275/70 R17s on the stock wheel. These are just painted wheels. They were chrome. I didn't like it. Kind of go with the black on black look, so I kept the black Toyota, or the stock Toyota wheels. And then while you're in here, you zoom in on the Cambridge upper control arm. A lot more strength, a lot more lightweight, and they look really good. It's my favorite part.
Doing it for the gram.
And behind the control arms, Billenstein shocks. I run a lot of weight. I am heavy, and so is the truck. So the Billenstein shocks, when I first got them, they're a little stiff, but I've had them for so long that they've cushioned out quite a bit. And I run a lot of stuff in the back. I run all my gear in some homemade drawers that we'll take a look at in a little bit. And the Billenstein shocks, they keep the truck level, but they also give me enough suspension and travel and it's really, really comfortable on the trails. So we can go to the roof rack. This is probably the nicest, one of my favorite parts of the truck. It stands out. Prinsu roof rack with Home Depot shovel that I've only had to use a couple times, and the CVT, forget what.
It's the Shasta.
The Shasta. CVT Shasta roof tent, and I've slept in it with my wife a couple times. Usually it's just me. It's super comfortable. I'm a big guy. It fits me and my wife just fine, but it fits me really well, and it's super comfortable. I have lights up in the tent when I'm sleeping. I usually have my little Can-Am solar power pack to provide, like, charge my cell phone while I'm sleeping, and I like to have a fan when I'm sleeping too, so the Can-Am powers that while I'm sleeping, USB fan. Let's see, what else we got here? Going around the back, not a whole lot going on. All stock. The only thing aftermarket is my Rhino recovery hitch. I took the shackle out because I found it likes to loosen up on the trail and it disappears. But I would like to get a dual swing out bumper someday. I mean, wouldn't we all? And mount my spare tire back here. You can swing it out, have a table, and then swing out the other side. With my gas tank, I need gas because I have the 4.7 V8 and this thing eats it. If I'm going down the highway to a trail, I burn like half a tank of gas sometimes just before I get to the trail. And sometimes there isn't really a close gas station. So that's something I really need to figure out, is how to get more fuel on this truck without towing a trailer full of fuel. Because having a trailer on the trail is sometimes really handy, but it's also a pain in the butt if you ever have to turn around. So that's something that I'm kind of playing with, but I don't even have a trailer, but we're trying to build one, and that will be in another video. It'll be pretty sick. And let's see, let's open up the back. Pretty happy with our homemade drawer system. We just went to Home Depot and built it out of plywood. Nothing super fancy. Me and Kyle built it over the weekend. It took more time to dry than it did to build. This is where I hold all my recovery gear. Got my tools. Let's see. All my spare. Haven't had to use this yet, but you never know. I have all my spare parts. Let's see. Overland vehicle systems. Got these nice little baggies full of miscellaneous stuff. This one's full of hose clamps. You can use hose clamps like you can zip ties. You can use them for numerous emergency cases. And then I have this one. It's full of zip ties and goo all. You never know. But we will get more into what I have as far as recovery gear in another video. This is just a rig water out for now. Oh, and this is my Cub Pack from 4Runner. They got it from SmallTown Overland Gresham. Great company, you should go check them out. Let's see. On this side, I like to have my Smittybilt air compressor back here. It's handy. It's right in front, so I can grab it if I'm on the trail. I don't need to be digging for it. And then I have a tent for my son, grill, all that. And this is kind of my miscellaneous drawer for now. Haven't gotten super organized yet, but every camping trip is a learning lesson, and I'll get better and better as I go. But the reason I didn't make this into a sleeper was mainly I got the tent. I don't need a sleeper. And if I'm not going on camping trips or going overlanding, I can just throw my groceries in the back. It's super convenient. Let's see here. So we're gonna jump into the interior of my truck. My favorite upgrade that I've done so far out of everything else I've done is the Rago center console side mount and bridge mount. It's made it so much easier just to use Gaia on my iPhone and then have you know, Pandora playing or whatever, or calling somebody on my my Galaxy, and it's been super convenient. It fit really well. I posted this on my Instagram page, that on the SmallTown Overland page, that it didn't have any instructions. I figured for $214 Rago would have put instructions in there. They did not. Kind of had to watch a couple YouTube videos just to kind of get the gist of it. But they don't have, nobody's ever done a 4th gen 4Runner. It's always a 5th gen. But it's not that hard. If you're mechanically inclined whatsoever and you know how to put a nut on a bolt, you can figure it out. Let's move to the back. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention the WeatherTech pads. And you can see I obviously use them a lot. That was full of sand before the video, believe it or not, and I shook it out. But I mean, the nice part about those WeatherTech floor mats is I just take it out and hose them off and throw them back in, which I have not done recently. Oh, I also have a gear light mounted right underneath my seat. It's been kicked around quite a bit. You can see the straps broken on it, but that sucker is bright. And I like the fact that it's not rechargeable, only because I always forget to charge my light, and it's a pain in the butt. It's just easier to carry around a bunch of AA's. And it is only 20 bucks, and it's been very useful so far. So.
And of course, you got some patches on the liner.
Oh yeah, I've just started doing the patch thing, geeking out on it, kind of showing my personality a little bit. I love Star Trek. Yep, I'm a nerd. Deal with it. I'm also a big Hulk fan. Another nerd thing. But I was also in the Army, so don't mess with me. Prinsu, obviously I have a roof rack, and then we got a couple guys that we've been trading patches with. Coachella Valley Overland. Like to meet him someday. He said he's gonna come up from California. But yeah, we trade patches with you guys if you're interested, because we have a bunch of these just waiting to be bought or traded. Check us out. Instagram has the link to our Etsy account, or you can DM us. We got a bunch back there just kind of hanging out. Whenever you guys want one, I'm always ready to hand them out. Let's move to the back seat. So, it's really expensive to find a MOLLE bag for your back seat. I mean, have you really looked to see how much they cost? Like 100, 150 bucks for a full MOLLE cover. And they're always advertised for Jeeps. And I have big, fluffy, leather heated seats. So I wasn't sure if they were gonna fit. But this MOLLE wall, I guess you can call it, that mounted to the back of my seat only cost 20 bucks. And then each bag, I didn't spend over $10 on. And I got all sorts of weird stuff in here. I have my hygiene, I have stuffed my kid's Game Boy in there, I always have towels just in case, store food back there. You know, obviously we have our Medikit, wish we never have to use that. I have not yet, thankfully. And this is pretty much my kid's realm. This is his back seat. He gets to hang out. He sleeps back here sometimes if it's too cold for the tent. He loves it. This is fancy. The comfier you are when you're going on long trips, the better. And my son digs his back seat.
Have you looked at any rear bumpers that you want to put on there?
I really like the CBI bumpers. it's just the whole, you know, I've learned that over the years, building your own stuff is great and all, and if you have the right tools to do it, then you can build something worth putting on your car or your rig. But just bolt-on parts, especially since I have a full-time job, full-time father, full-time husband, bolt-on parts is so much easier rather than spending 24 to 48 hours trying to build and design your own bumper. It just takes 3 hours, and $1,500 compared to, like, you will be spending at least $500 on a homemade bumper and a lot of time. At this point in my life, it's not worth it, and I have so much other nice stuff on this truck. I mean, the Prinsu, the Shocksworth, the Cambridge. I think I just need to keep going with what I got going and buy a bolt-on bumper and swing guides. So that's my plan. I want more lights on the side of the roof rack so you can see the trail. Just light the world up at night, because if it's late at night and you're trying to find a camping ground or somewhere to stop, you need to be able to see as much as you possibly can. And some chase lights would be really nice. I would like some chase lights. I think my next upgrade will actually be rock lights. I like the way it looks on the trail, or if you're just driving around and you want to show off, you can blast some light underneath and you can stand out and look cool. I mean, let's be honest, about 80% of all that we do with our rigs is to look cool, and I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. And then maybe a winch. But like I said, I don't need a winch yet. Kyle's usually with me, and he has more than just a winch to get me out. So I'm not gonna lie, kind of leaning on him a little bit sometimes, but it hasn't happened yet. So I haven't found a reason to have a winch, and I have all sorts of recovery gear, which I will show you in another video. But if you guys like this video and you're interested in our content, make sure you subscribe, give us the thumbs up, and we'll have more adventures and DIYs and future camping trips in the future. So thanks a lot for watching.